What it do, boo-boo? How is everybody? Happy Sunday or Monday, whatever time you're watching this. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. I know I did. Did anybody get time to sit in stillness and quiet and tune in to reflection? Anybody have any big revelations this weekend? I had a couple that was pretty crazy, and I just kind of had kept my journal handy with a pen just in case. And boy, I took a load off. It was nice. Had a lot of I guess not a lot, but it was like a couple of like really insightful moments that I think did a lot. And so I just feel like this huge weight lifted. So I hope that you guys do as well. Let's see, I had work tonight and it was pretty much ladies' night, except we always have to have like at least one dude because someone has to do men's restroom for their side work. And like sometimes it's like all dudes night plus one girl for the ladies' room. So tonight it was a ladies' night plus one dude. So it's always fun when all the ladies work together on a shift because it's like this quiet hum of busyness. But there's not any kind of chaos or hysteria, and everything gets done fairly efficiently and very cooperatively and very helpfully. And there's always like things like stocked when you need them. And I'm always wondering like what goes so much more wrong when the guys are there. Why are they like dragging us down, making it crazy? They're making us crazy. We're not crazy when you guys aren't there. So what's the common factor here? Ooh, I don't want to fall off the couch. All right. We're here to do our oracle reading with the Oracle of Oddities, 1, 2, and 3 editions all smushed together. And we are tuning into the energy of the upcoming week. So we're going to see what our themes are for this coming week and what we're going to be working with. Knowledge. Knowledge came up in another one of my readings. I think it was like my own weekly reading. How interesting. Knowledge. It's our first card, which is interesting too because if you've been sitting in quiet stillness this week, over the weekend, then you might have more knowledge than you did. You might have had an epiphany or a revelation. And if not, then maybe you'll be getting that epiphany this week. And maybe you will see how all of the pieces have been like coming together so that you can see where like how it all adds up. And then you have like not only hindsight, but foresight as well. And everything in the present just becomes so much clearer, right? Which is interesting because we have this Visuddha, which is the throat chakra. So it's like we are not only realizing, having this moment of revelation and truth, we're realizing it, it's becoming crystal clear. We have a grasp, this dominion, right, over this world that we are creating. We have a dominion over our world. We have a hold on it. And we're putting our knowledge to use in the physical material things that we put our hand to. And it's all of our work is beginning to blossom and it's really all becoming like fleshed out. Not only that, now that we are becoming more clear and we're like really grounding that knowledge and experience and wisdom, we're able to not only live in alignment with this truth, which is the throat chakra not only is about speaking and communications, but it's also about knowing what your truth is and being able to be clear on that so that you can communicate it, right? And then it's also when you are living in alignment with that truth and that authenticity, it's like it is a sign of a clear throat chakra as well. So if you have blocks in that area, you might be getting knowledge this week as to how you can, where in your life things may be a little bit off or out of alignment or not like totally authentic for you anymore. You know, we've been going through a lot of these major changes. So, you know, things are going to be coming up kind of as they come up. You know, we hadn't thought about it until now in these new shoes of ours and this new skin, this new self. So it's like, you know, maybe there are going to be things that aren't suitable for us anymore like they used to be, and maybe new things are going to be taking their place. Either way, I think we're really getting a grasp over things, and even in a material sense, and we're starting to really align with that, and our actions and our words and our thoughts and our feelings are all starting to line up, and we're being able to communicate our vision. We're able to communicate our values and our needs and our thoughts and our ideas that are coming through. It's very exciting. All right, what else do we need to know about this coming week ahead? Ooh, nightmares. Okay, so be aware of that. Pay attention to your dreams. Be aware that your dreams are not necessarily literal, right? That they are symbolic, but at the same time, the images that might be frightening in you in your dreams, what are they telling you? What does that tell you in your subconscious that's still going on that maybe you haven't addressed in your conscious waking life yet? I guess also, think about, ask yourself this as like a journal prompt, like, what is my worst nightmare? What is it because the worst nightmare is like our catastrophizing, right? And we don't want those to become self-fulfilling prophecies. However, these looming fears that weigh on our mind affect not only our body chemistry, is what we've learned recently, because what's up in your mind and it's up there consistently, like your body just believes it and responds to it. So you have all of these trauma chemicals going on when you're entertaining these nightmares in your head, right? Even if it's not happening. So it's not good for you. But also, it's not good for your heart. It's not good for your spirit. It's not good for your soul to be plaguing yourself with nightmares. And so ask yourself this week, like, what's my worst nightmare? Or, and it doesn't have to be one, but like those things in your life where you would casually say to your friend, like, oh my God, that would be my worst nightmare. Or like something like that you dread like that. Like, what are those things and why? Why are you afraid of those things? Why is that a fear, a core fear for you? And, dig into that. Like, why do you feel this way? What perception do you have over the scenario playing out that would make you feel this way? Where did you pick up these ideas? Are they true? Are they real? And, calm yourself, because like, okay, if this did happen, how would you meet the occasion, right? Like, you deal with it. So let it go. Because the thing is when you have these fatalistic visions, right, that you don't want, that are like these looming ominous storms in your future that don't even exist, you're just worried about them, they have control over you. They're traps, they're prisons. You make your decisions in reaction to this fear of a what if, And so that is not being the cause consciousness. What we've been learning recently is that we want to have affinity with the light, right? So that we're in vibration with all of the goodness and all of the love, so that we're in that frequency and we can attract more blessings. But in order to have affinity with the light is never affected. It's always eternal. It's always consistent and sustaining and perpetual. So in order for us to become eternal, we cannot be affected by the things, our outer circumstances, right? We have to be the cause. If we're affected, then we're victims of circumstance, right? If we allow our feelings to be affected by outer circumstances, then we don't have control over ourselves. The outer circumstances have control. We're at the mercy of like our happiness, our peace, or whatever is at the mercy of our conditions around us, right? So we don't want that. We want to be the cause. We want to have no reason, like nothing causes us to be joyful. We just feel spontaneous joy. Nothing causes us to feel in love with ourselves, in love with life, in love, period. We just are in love, or that's what we're striving, right? And then we can align with someone who's in love with us, right? But we don't want to feel things because of something else. We want to control those things and be connecting to the source of all that is and feeling very sustained and secure in that. And I lost my thought, but I'm also feeling like another one. Cause and effect consciousness. Oh, yes. So we don't want to, like, for instance, this is a good example. If somebody is like, I'm gonna live my life never taking a drink because my father was a raging alcoholic. Like, this is not true about me, but like, this is just like a basic example. It's pretty universal. I'm never going to drink because my father was an alcoholic and I don't want to be like my father. Now, some people would say like, well, that's fairly good because you're not drinking, right? So that's good for you or whatever. And you're not wanting to be like an alcoholic like your dad. But the thing is, you're being reactive to life. You're being reactive to, you know, the experience you had with your father, and it's affecting you and it's controlling you for the rest of your life, instead of being like, oh, well, my father was a man who had a drinking problem, but I don't have to have that drinking problem, and so I'm just gonna, you know, wear it like a loose garment, and, you know, everything in moderation, right? You don't want things to affect you. Like, even if it's hidden in a positive cloak. Or like, also as equally as someone who's like, I'm never going to trust another man again, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're then affected, right? Or, you know, women are all this way, and because of that, I'm going to be like this. And I'll, you know, like, that is being the effect, not the cause. So we want to watch that. We want to make sure that we are not living life in response, as, you know, in effect to our nightmares. We want to be the cause, not the effect, especially for things that aren't even real. They're not even valid. They're just our imagination running wild, right? So ask yourself, what do I perceive as being my worst nightmare? And can I just let that fear go? Like, it's not even real. Why am I worried about this? Like, why am I obsessing? This obsession has control over me. It's putting me in a prison, and it's affecting my life. Cancel, clear, delete. No more of that, people. No more, right? Because we're gaining knowledge over these things that are taking our freedom, taking our free will from us, and we are reclaiming that and living in alignment with what's true, with what's real. With what's in alignment with love, right? And expansion and joy and goodness, not the nightmares. All right, and one last card to finish us off about the week ahead. Ooh. Oh, okay. So we have third eye on it's the one that I can't pronounce. It's AJNA, Anya. Pay attention to your inner vision this week. It might be coming very clear. And so you want to be sure that you're not vividly picturing and imagining your nightmares. Watch what you're thinking about in your mind, because what we did learn recently, and we talked about this in last week's Secret Teachings of Jesus, that our nervous system really, like, our brains don't know the difference between something that we're remembering or something that we're seeing on TV or something that we're imagining in our mind. The body believes the mind, right? And so it starts producing chemicals that produce that in turn. And if you have a sustained altered state that you're in for long enough, it kind of becomes your new perceived normal. And then it's like you're all cattywampus, and, you know, everything is askew and distorted after that. So watch what you're imagining in your mind. Choose to cultivate good thoughts and visualize what you want and what you want to bring in and what you want to create. And then practice feeling what that feels like in a very vivid way, because what you're doing then is you're teaching your nervous system how to feel those feelings in order to, like, resonate with that frequency in order to bring it in. Because we also learned recently that Our thoughts create an electrical charge in our auric field, but our feelings are what creates the magnetism. So when you're visualizing, you want to visualize and practice feelings that you want to magnetically draw towards you. And we don't want the nightmares, right? But if for some reason we come up against some upsetting challenge this week, just know that you will be fine. You will get through it. Pray for support to meet any challenge head on and handle it with all the grace and the love that you can. And God help us, I hope that's not the case. Since we have 2 chakra cards this week, I'm going to pull one last card to see. Oh, okay. We have love and merge came up. Right? So I know that I feel like this whole next cycle that we're moving into right now is helping us merge with our higher self, and we're building our lives based on love and not our fears, not our nightmares. But there could be some kind of friendship or partnership or collaboration or something coming together this week. Or maybe there's someone that you see eye to eye with that you're going to be in contact with this week and talking and communicating, right? So we'll see how that goes, but keep the love in your heart. Focus on anything that you put in your hand to this week to put love into it. And if you're not in a loving state, then just put it on pause for a minute and go shift your sitch. Get out of the nightmares and refocus your vision to something positive, and then take action from a state of wholeness, from a state of love, from a state of overflowing, right? Because whatever we do, our energetic signature is in that thing. And so if we do things from a place of fear or anxiety or a state of lack or insecurity, even if on the outside this gesture or this thing that you create might look beautiful, the vibe behind it will carry what was in the root of it. So we want to get into a great primed state before we act. So get in a loving state before you send the email, before you send the text, before you work on painting your masterpiece. Get really primed in your energy before you take these actions. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. Just, pause and take a breath before each, throughout the day, just to keep checking in. And that's great, because in order to build the vessel, we need to practice restriction. We need to pause before we do, because then we can really say, okay, I'm not just reacting out of reflex. I'm actually practicing my divinity and choosing each action and decision and reaction, proactiveness. How am I showing up? With free will. Our free will is our greatest gift, and it can be our greatest tool. It can enhance our powers to a very intense degree, but it can also, if we're not using our free will, it can enslave us. It can cause a lot of chaos, and it can actually subjugate our powers. So I guess just keep that in mind. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. I will see you tomorrow night for kind of our anchor message for the week that'll kind of kick it off. I do post our kind of a blog write-up on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Instagram, and then that's what we talk about in our video at night. We do an extended message or kind of another take on it from the written blog. So if you want to find me there, go join me on Instagram. It's Liz_Taylor_Magick. Magick with a CK, just like this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please comment, share, save, do all the things with this video that people do with videos, and subscribe to my channel. I want to grow our community. I want to get the message out there to more people, and I think we have some fun content, and it's a worthwhile place to stop in. So help me. It really does make all the difference. when, you know, even just a few people comment here and there and share, my reach grows by like tens of thousands of more exposure. So it makes a huge difference, guys. And actually, like, just take that into account when you're watching all the content that you're watching. Like, the best way to just say thank you or support these channels and these accounts is to just take an action on the post, on the picture, on the video. It makes a huge difference, and it doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is just like touch the screen that you're already touching. Just touch it in a different way. All right, you guys, have a wonderful night and week and day, and I will see you soon. Ciao.